contact. So you can attract your healthy masculine energy husband who's ready to take care of you and spoil you.
Oh, that was a mouthful.
Yes.
Ladies, this is going to be so helpful for you if you feel like you're struggling with detaching during dating. So, if you're struggling with a situationship or you're ready to just attract your amazing provider husband that just wants to marry you, even if you're a single mama, like how I was a single mom with four little kiddos, this episode is for you. We're going to go through three things that you need to focus on that's going to make no contact so much easier so that you can clear space to attract your amazing husband like I did.
And I'm Coach B, of course, former lifelong bachelor who married my beautiful wife who had
Mhm.
4 children at the time.
Yes.
And now we're here helping you ladies. So what I'm going to do is I'm really going to go and give you the male's perspective
Mhm.
on how to help you attract that healthy masculine energy husband.
Okay, and if you are new here, you are in the right place because here we talk about how to re regulate your feminine energy, your nervous system, and your hormones. These are the areas that I specialize in and that we have helped well over 1,000 women to date who have come out of divorces, situationships, who are now engaged, married, living their best life like me. Coming from my ladies, coming from my
Yes.
people. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Let's jump right into
let's,
it for the
okay.
ladies.
So let's jump into it. So, ladies, the number one point that's going to help you in dating, like lean in for a second, ladies. All right. I want you moving forward to take emotion out of dating. Say it with me. Say it with me, ladies. I'm going to start taking emotion out of my dating process
Mm.
because emotion is what gets you ladies into trouble
Yeah.
when you are dating. Okay, this is not how you choose a mate.
Mm.
This is not how you choose a provider husband. This is how you choose a situationship. Is when
Mm.
you're being controlled by emotions.
Yes. And it's so important to take this out of your process and allow it to lead you
Yeah.
because what happens is for men, as you're dating them, men understand emotions and women, usually lead with
Yeah.
these emotions. So now men can start to play on your emotions,
Yes.
be it in a good way or bad way, knowing that they can do
Yeah.
stuff for you to make you feel good. They can say stuff to you to make you feel good.
Yeah.
And now in your mind, you're engaged, you have a wedding date, and he hasn't even told you that you're
Yeah.
together. So you
Yeah.
really have to be careful with leading with those emotions when you're in the dating phase to go to marriage because men understand that women lead with emotions most of the time and you don't want to find yourself in a position where your emotions are causing you to do stuff within the relationship that your boundaries told you you shouldn't do.
Yeah, that's so good. Ladies, hear me for a second, okay? If you just date based on emotion, first of all, and you've done no inner healing, what's going to naturally happen subconsciously, and just so you know, by the time you're 35 years old, you are 95% just subconscious, meaning that all those programs from childhood, all those unhealed wounds from past
Mm.
relationships, those are all in your subconscious programming.
Mm.
So, at a head knowledge, you're ready to get married. You're
Mm.
ready to date high quality men that want to provide for you and just be an amazing husband and
Yep.
father. But your subconscious programs are still running the show. And so that's that anxiousness. That's you finding the bad boys attractive and the
Mhm.
nice guys boring, right?
Mm.
Or you just like the good guys are just not
Yes.
attractive to you. And so it's so important that you take time and actually heal that because otherwise what you'll do is you'll show up on the dating scene and you guys are just friends and then all of a sudden you start sleeping together. Now you're hormonally energetically entangled.
Yeah.
Now you think you're in love and he's like, oh, I just need to like pay off this bill, I just need to sell my house, I
Ah.
just need to get my business in order, I just
Mm.
need to take care of
Yeah.
this one thing, right, ladies?
Yes.
And then next thing you know, 1 year has gone by, 5 years has gone
Mm.
by, 10 years has gone by, and the dating pool has changed for
Yes.
you as a woman as you get older.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also a lot of us growing up
Yeah.
have seen, especially those who had single moms specifically,
Yeah.
have seen a lot of
Yeah.
emotionally based
Yeah.
relationship. Like she's emotionally
Yeah.
connected to the guy who hasn't shown up for her in
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
who just comes when he needs something.
Mhm.
And that's what you saw in as an example in a lot of cases
Yeah.
of a healthy relationship. So by default, now you're thinking that, okay, if I'm not emotionally, if I don't feel him, if I don't feel
Yes.
good, I don't feel like, he's as nice looking, or I don't, I don't
Yes.
have that feeling in my gut. And we
Yeah.
see it on these shows all the time where, I just don't feel it when they're
Yeah.
meeting them. You cannot make a decision about your life based on a feeling or
Yeah.
emotion, because those change. Now, those help in a lot of situations, but
Yeah.
when you're looking at moving forward in a relationship,
Yeah.
you have to lead with logic. Your emotions help, your emotions matter,
Yeah.
but do not lead with them, because that's what we saw in a lot of cases growing up, and it wasn't healthy, and we saw the results of that. So we're here to help you out
Yeah.
so you don't go down that same road
Yeah.
of just being with guys who make you feel good but who don't show up for you.
Yes, exactly. So, ladies, just ask yourself if you are struggling in this area. Do you feel super emotional when it
Mhm.
comes to dating
Yeah.
and choosing your mate? So, even just think about if you're on the dating app or even the thought of going on the dating app,
Yeah.
how do you feel? That's going to tell you where your energy is
Mm.
at. And just look at your past relationships. Has there been a lot of trauma bonding? Has it been a lot of situationships?
Yes.
Has it been a lot of breadcrumbing? Has it been a lot of you thinking he was a great guy, but really he wasn't? Just notice patterns,
Yes.
and no shame at all, babe. This is just an opportunity for you to heal these patterns so that you can detach from the wrong guy, take time to heal, and then choose the right guy that you deserve.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, point number two.
Point number two.
Okay, so point number two, it's going to help you so much, ladies, is you need to prepare your nervous system, which is your subconscious mind. You need to prepare your nervous system to receive a
Mm.
provider energy, healthy masculine man. So a healthy man. If you have not trained your nervous system to really understand and feel safe in the presence of healthy masculine energy, your nervous system will find that it'll look at it as a foreign substance and it will resist it.
Mm.
This is really important. So just ask yourself, do I have any examples in my life of really healthy masculine energy men in the area of relationships? So once again, look at your past relationships, look at even, the daddy issues, stuff like that. Have you healed from that and have
Yes.
you trained your nervous system to feel safe? This is key in the presence of masculine energy, because if you haven't done that, and we see this so often,
Mm.
especially with our really successful and beautiful women who easily attract men,
Yeah.
but then they find something wrong with them or they get overwhelmed
Yes.
really easily. Typically, it's because there's a masculine energy wound there,
Yes.
and they need to prepare their nervous system to
Mm.
feel safe to actually receive the husband for marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And really understanding the healthy traits of a
Yeah.
healthy masculine energy
Yeah.
man is so key as
Yes.
well, because
Yes.
what can happen if you haven't trained your nervous system
Yeah.
when this guy comes around and wants to lead, or
Yeah.
has discipline or structure, or he's just not available like that fun guy, like the
Yeah.
guy who you just love being
Yeah.
around. He's more structured. He's Most healthy masculine energy men are more reserved, or more focused
Yeah.
on their work,
Hmm.
especially when they're single.
Yeah.
They're focused on taking care of business to build whatever they're doing, be it their business, even to get to another level within their job.
Hmm.
So if you don't understand these traits when they come around, your nervous system will react
Yeah.
in ways like, why isn't he calling me?
Yes.
Okay, what is he doing? Why is he in his
Yeah.
phone? Why is he doing this? Everything
Yeah.
you're questioning, and you're looking for something that's wrong. You're
Yes.
looking because this isn't normal for you. The guys
Hmm.
that want to date you, they may not be healthy in that area. They may be more in their feminine,
Yeah.
and they just love having fun. It's just, let's
Yeah.
just figure things out. Let's see how
Yeah.
things play out.
Yeah.
Whereas a healthy masculine energy
Yeah.
man is structured. He's probably more specific with his time.
Yeah.
He's probably more about, okay, let's get this done, instead of just all
Yeah.
about having fun. So making sure you really uh, handle your nervous system in
Yeah.
that area is important,
Yeah.
or else you can self sabotage when a
Yes.
healthy man comes around because you're looking for stuff doesn't
Mhm.
feel right because this isn't what
Yeah.
you're used to.
Yes. Okay. So let's give you some signs that your nervous system does need healing so you can prepare it
Hmm.
to actually date and to receive a healthy man.
Yes.
So typically, if your nervous system is super dysregulated, you're going to feel really anxious. You're going to feel really overwhelmed when it comes to dating. You
Mm.
might be really avoidant, where it's like,
Yes.
I don't even want to date,
Yeah.
right? I don't want to get too close. You're finding things wrong with a guy. Or the other side is you just feel super anxious. You get emotionally attached
Mm.
really easily.
Yes.
You
So true.
feel really insecure, like exactly what you're saying. If he's busy,
Mm.
your default thoughts is, oh, he must be talking to another
Yes.
woman. He's not interested in me
Mm.
anymore. Oh, you're bracing your nervous system
Yes.
for the bottom to fall
Yes.
out. That is a big one that we see with our women that we coach
Mm.
in the Feminine Energy Academy and help them heal. Another big thing is you just get attached really easily. As soon as a guy says, you're the one, I want to go exclusive with you, I want to just be with you are ready to just, stop talking to other
Yes.
guys and you are ready to be monogamous with this guy, even though he has not put a ring on your finger yet and he is not ready for marriage.
Mm.
Yeah.
And shout out to someone who's in London. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, really that part where you
Hmm.
get anxious around him when things are
Yeah.
different, or when the guy is really, because what guys are doing, even at the beginning, and I won't say it's love bombing, but guys will say stuff and not really know if
Yeah.
it's okay, if this is how they feel. But in the
Yeah.
moment, it felt good. And now you've run with it. You know, they'll say something like, I see you as being my wife. This is
Hmm.
day one. They
Yeah.
haven't asked you to marry them.
Yeah.
They're not exclusive with you.
Yeah.
And for you, you get
Yeah.
anxious. Now you start telling people. Now you're getting excited.
Yeah.
So every little thing that happens, why didn't he call? He told me that I would be his wife. And
Yeah.
you run with it. And
Yeah.
now in that situation, now you're all thrown off.
Yeah.
You can't relax. You're trying to figure out what he's doing, why he hasn't called you
Hmm.
when he has a roster. And like your third point will be,
Yeah.
you should go in a different direction as well. Never
Yeah.
commit to a man that hasn't committed to you, not only in word, but in action. But we'll
Yes.
go deeper with that with the next point.
Yeah, this is so good. It's almost like your advice is so practical.
Yes.
It is so practical, but for our ladies, we get super emotional, and then a lot of women just haven't healed. So they keep finding themselves in the same pattern. Another sign with that nervous system dysregulation, that a sign that you need healing, is you tend to have obsessive thoughts around the guy. Like you just cannot stop thinking
Mm.
about him and obsessing about what he is doing, what he is thinking. These are all signs that your nervous system just needs healing, babe, so that you can
Yes.
prepare yourself to feel really safe and secure in a healthy relationship, which is what
Yes.
you deserve.
And
Okay. Oh,
let
sorry. Go
me
ahead.
just add
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Go,
it
babe.
as well. When you're obsessively thinking about it,
Yeah.
what it looks like is now you start doing stuff to make sure that he knows that you like him. So you'll
Mm.
start buying him stuff. You'll start,
Yeah.
just making sure, okay, do you need anything? You step into your
Yes.
provider energy when you get anxious a lot of times because you want to make sure that you didn't do anything to throw him off. So you're
Yeah.
overdoing it even without knowing if
Hmm.
everything's okay. It's like, okay, let me just make sure this is done. This is done. Okay, I'll make you some food if you need it. Okay, you can come over because
Yeah.
you're thinking so much about
Yeah.
what if he doesn't like me. So you don't even want to
Mm.
have that conversation, and you'll just
Yes.
start doing things before that conversation exists. And on the other hand, he has no I mean, it's everything's good with him. But because you're so anxious, now you've changed the entire dynamics of the relationship
Yeah.
and you step into your provider energy, making sure that he doesn't leave you.
Oh my gosh, we can go so deep into
Yes.
this. There's so many examples of how this plays out.
Yes.
And just in exactly what you were saying, just like having fear around having those uncomfortable
Yes.
conversations with him, really holding your boundaries. Just ask yourself, do you struggle with holding boundaries?
Mm.
You want to save yourself for marriage, for
Mm.
example, like what we teach our ladies
Yeah.
is to save yourself for marriage. Or you're just like, you don't want to move too quickly, or whatever your boundary or standard is, you're worried to communicate that to
Yeah.
him because you have this fear of abandonment.
Mm.
You're afraid that he's going to not like you anymore and he's just not going to talk to you, or he's going to
Yes.
become disinterested in you.
Yep.
So just pay attention.
Yes.
This channel is all about just helping you with that awareness
Mm.
because that is your first step in healing these patterns for good. Okay.
Yes.
So step 3.
Step three. Step three.
Okay.
Go ahead, babe.
This is the hack for you ladies, okay? My ladies that tend to get, tend to get themselves attached to men really easily, which is just how women are, right? Typically. What you want to do is you need to stay rotationally dating. You need to be talking to other guys, not sleeping with them, but you need to be talking with other men until there's a ring on your finger or there's like clear plans for engagement with a clear timeline. He's following through, he's showing up consistently, and otherwise, what happens is you are just attached to his potential. You're listening to everything he says. And I know you
Mm.
can talk a little bit
Yes.
more about that. And what you're doing as a woman, you have a different timeline than men.
Mm.
We, as women, have different timelines than men. Men can drag their feet and take their time and at 45 years old
Yes.
decide they want to get married,
Yes.
or 55 or
Yes.
65, right? So for you as a woman, you have to ask yourself, do you want to have kids?
Mm.
Right? And even if you don't want to have kids, your pool will be a lot bigger for you, ladies, when you are younger. Now, of course, you can get married in your 50s and 60s,
Yes.
and we have women that have done that, but it changes. Like, let's just be
Mm.
realistic. Okay. So for you, you as a woman cannot afford to be in a situationship for 1 year, for 5 years, for 10 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And ladies, let us know if even the thought of rotationally dating
Yes.
scares you, or if that's
Yes.
something that you just can't grasp. Because
Yeah.
one thing, even as a man who's married, healthy, masculine
Yeah.
energy man, one thing that I agree with, and one thing I would say to you ladies, is
Yeah.
rotationally date. Now,
Yeah.
men, we have rosters. I don't have a roster anymore, but as
Yeah.
men who are dating and single, they have rosters.
Yeah.
So they're rotationally
Yeah.
dating. But what we're telling you to do is put yourself in situations where you learn more about yourself,
Yeah.
seeing different men. And
Yeah.
we're not saying go sleep with these guys.
No.
We're not saying break boundaries with these guys.
No.
What we're saying is go on dates. What if it could be one date a week, one date a month? It
Yeah.
could, you could be rotationally dating one guy. I mean, two guys, four guys, whatever you're
Yeah.
comfortable with.
Mhm.
But what it does is it allows the man to see that if you said that you're looking to get married in the next 6 to 12 months,
Yeah.
it allows him to see that you're not playing around, you're not waiting
Mhm.
around for him. I don't care how much you like him, and maybe you can speak on
Yeah.
that as well. It doesn't matter how much you like him. It's really the more you like him, the more you want to rotationally date,
Yeah.
until he says, okay,
Yeah.
I want to be with you, but not only says that,
Yeah.
just like I did, willing to move countries. I moved from
Yeah.
Chicago to Canada
Mhm.
when I said, okay, I want to be with you, because saying it wasn't enough,
Yeah.
because she
Yeah.
had plans. She knew what she wanted to do. So it was up to me to step up, or guess what? She would have moved on with her life. She would have
Yeah.
continued rotationally dating, and she still would have been married. So you have to do this for your own
Yeah.
good. Men are going to be triggered. Men don't like this.
Yeah.
I'll say that again.
Yeah.
Men don't like when women are rotationally dating, because in most men's mind, only thing they hear is sex.
Yeah.
Okay, that means you're sleeping with all these
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go into detail with them. Just to let them know you're dating for marriage. That's all they need to know. And make
Yeah.
sure you don't stay attached to someone that you're just getting to know until they want to date you for marriage, and we
Mhm.
start talking about dates on marriage. Not just tell you that,
Yeah.
because many can give you a placeholder ring, a
Mhm.
placeholder title. They
Mhm.
Men will make up placeholders to keep you right
Yeah.
there, but it's the action
Yeah.
behind it that you have to look at.
Okay, let's break this down because I know we have a lot of new people here and they're not really sure what we're talking about. So let's just clarify. First of all, we are not talking about sleeping around. And what we're talking about is how we have evolved as humans when it comes to mating and choosing spouses.
Mhm.
So just look at how God has created everything. Men are sperm, right? The masculine energy is sperm. There's more than one sperm that is competing for that egg,
Mhm.
right? And we know that the physical realm mirrors the spiritual realm, the energetic realm. The masculine has been wired
Yes.
to compete. They value things that they compete
Mm.
for: sports,
Yes.
hunting, right? Business, just all of that. They value things that they have
Mhm.
to invest towards,
Yes.
work towards, and space that they have to come towards. That's how men fall in love. They need to choose you in that sense. They need to feel like they've competed for you and earned you. So you as a woman, you are the egg. Your job is to be healthy and whole and ready and position yourself to be married.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing, ladies, like I said, you're not sleeping with these guys, but as a woman, women typically are very monogamous in
Mm.
nature, meaning that a lot of women, as soon as one guy gives them attention and is like, oh, I really want to be with you, I
Yeah.
see myself being with you, there's no one I've ever met
Yeah.
like you, a lot of women shoot themselves in the foot. I'm saying this sweetly because I love you. Shoot yourself in your foot and you just commit to this
Yeah.
guy who has not publicly claimed you for marriage. It's just a situationship. And this is like a new thing in our generation, these situationships. And what the problem is with that, ladies, is that is so traumatizing to the woman's nervous system.
Mm.
This is what creates so much baggage for a woman because now you are hormonally, energetically entangled with a man who is not your husband, right? And there's benefits that come with a man who is your husband. If
Mm.
he is your husband, he is your provider.
Yes.
He is the head of the home. He is your protector. He's the one that's watching your back. He's your romantic
Yes.
best friend. That's what it's like to have a husband, right? And so if you are just giving all these privileges and opening yourself up energetically, spiritually to a man who has not publicly claimed you before
Yeah.
God to take care of you,
Yes.
that is what's traumatizing and dysregulating to your nervous system. So, to prevent that, ladies, is you need to intentionally date for marriage. When we're saying rotationally date for marriage, what we are saying is intentionally date for marriage, meaning that you have clarity on who you're calling in, you know who you're calling in.
Mm.
You've done your healing. You've done all the stuff that we teach in the Feminine Energy Academy. You put yourself in front of different men. You go on coffee dates, dinner dates, and you keep dating different guys until the right guy steps up for marriage.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's so important as I'm looking through these questions as
Yeah.
well. As you're rotationally dated as a woman,
Yeah.
one thing you have to know, because I
Yeah.
know one comment, a lady said that most healthy provider energy men don't have rosters. And one thing you have to know, we talk to hundreds of men. I have friends that are businessmen. I
Yeah.
know healthy men as well.
Yeah.
Most men do have rosters now, but you want to focus on what you're doing, because if you're in the thought process of, I wonder what
Yeah.
he's doing,
Yeah.
does he have a roster, he says he doesn't have a roster, don't focus on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Focus on rotationally
Yeah.
dating, getting to know different type of men, because
Yeah.
if you're waiting for that one man that doesn't have a roster, and we know every man doesn't, but if you're waiting for that small percent that doesn't have a roster before you look to start dating,
Yeah.
then you're going to be waiting 5, 7, 10 years for that one special man to rise up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Now your pool of who you're able to select has changed significantly.
Yeah.
So the best time, and this is just the reality of it, most men get value as they get older because they get more established in a lot of cases. Now
Mhm.
their bank account is a little fatter, so they're in
Yeah.
position now to be able to provide, protect, take care of the person that they're with. And most men are looking for women that are 8, 10, 12 years younger than them. So it's not that you won't attract a man, but
Yeah.
when you're 20, you're going to attract someone probably closer to 30 in
Yeah.
most cases. And
Yeah.
when you get older, it continues, that age gap
Yeah.
continues. Your only job is to continue to look good, to get your
Mhm.
nervous system lined up, and to make sure you're prepared to be found as a wife, not
Yes.
someone who's, okay, I'm just dating now, right now, trying to figure things out as a woman. No, prepare
Yeah.
yourself as a wife, and the right man will be attracted to you. So no matter
Yeah.
if men are out there with rotations, without a rotation,
Yeah.
whatever the case, the right man will be attracted to you when you become a wife.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to concern yourself with.
That is so good. Oh my gosh. People are talking about the age gap stuff. If you
Yeah.
guys have questions about the age gap, drop your questions below.
Yes.
That is another thing that we do teach. We do encourage our ladies to date older men because women and men age differently. So it's actually wiser for a woman to date older men. And
Hmm.
that has so much to do with the keeping the polarity. Now, it can be a few years older, it could be 10 years older, but you as a woman, if you, I mean, this is a side note, but if you tend to attract younger men, typically, right now you're attracting younger men. In my experience coaching thousands of women,
Yes.
it's because you are in your masculine energy as a woman, and there's that wound there where you are just mothering him, and he has that mother wound where he is attracted to women that are in their masculine
Yeah.
energy. A lot of times these men have been raised by strong independent moms as well, and you both are trauma bonding.
Mm.
Now, I'm not saying this is in 100% of the cases. I
No.
have seen, couples that have made it work, but they're very awake and conscious to the whole masculine feminine polarity, where the guy, he might be younger, but he's very mature and he's very much in his masculine provider energy, and the woman is like a stay-home mom and
Mm.
she's very much in her feminine energy. That's the only time I've seen that work. But a lot of times, these boss babes, I know because we coach them, right? They are in their masculine energy. And yeah, you might look good for your age.
Mm.
So you tend to attract younger men. And it might be hot and heavy at the beginning, because you're going after these younger guys or these younger guys are going after you. But what often happens is you tend to fall into your mothering energy and you don't really respect him like you would if
Yeah.
you were dating an older man or a man that's really much in his provider energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So definitely let us know about those age gap
Yeah.
questions. I think we have one right here. Said, why would a man not want to marry after 6 years?
Oh, you can answer that one.
So is that after a 6 year gap is what you're saying, or after dating for
I
six
think dating
years?
for 6 years. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
well, what one thing I always say, and for those of you, and I see a couple ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy who are on, so
Yes.
welcome on. One thing to know about men when we're pursuing you for as a wife, and we're ready to be married,
Yeah.
we're ready to move forward. We usually know within the first 30 to 90 days. I mean, we
Yeah.
probably look at you and say, okay, she looks good enough to be my wife. That's probably the first thing that we
Yeah.
do as men. That's just
Yeah.
how we are. And then we get to know you. So within the first 30 to 90 days, we most likely already know if you're wife material, if we want to marry you. Now, what happens is a lot of times when there's no boundaries, when you don't have anything in place,
Yeah.
then we don't have to put a title on it. We just go move on with it. Okay, we're dating. Okay, you're my girlfriend, even though I'm 45 and you're 40. You're
Yeah.
my girlfriend, which we don't believe in girlfriend,
Yeah.
boyfriends here. And titles just keep changing. This is my person.
Yeah.
This is my loved one. This is the one that I want to be with. And you
Yeah.
look up, 2 or 3 years have passed.
Mhm.
And when the man gets everything that he needs from you, and I'm talking about in the bedroom, I'm talking about just everything that comes with
Mhm.
being married without signing those papers. And usually after six
Yeah.
years, you're almost legally married by
Yeah.
law. So
Yeah.
he's probably getting everything that a wife gets. Now
Yeah.
men are looking like, well, why get married? What
It's
do
just
I
another
get?
bill.
Yeah, what do I get for marrying you?
Yeah.
So it's no for most men,
Yeah.
it's really no use in getting married to you
Yeah.
after 6 years if you didn't make it something that was a priority, if you didn't
Yes.
have these conversations. And we talk to our ladies about this as well. If you didn't have these conversations at the beginning, if
Mhm.
they met you on a dating app, if you met in person, letting them know you're dating for marriage, then
Mhm.
having timelines like, okay, in the next 6 to 12 months,
Yeah.
if we're not moving in that direction, and if I don't have a ring, you don't have to say this to them, but
Yeah.
know this within yourself. If
Yeah.
you don't have what you desire in that time frame, you have to be willing
Yep.
to walk away. But after 6 years, men know it's no use. You're not going anywhere. They
Mhm.
got you right where they want you. So, they can just continue to live life, enjoy themselves, have their own place, not have to commit to you at all because of that bond that's been created already.
That's so good. Yes, ladies, if you find yourself in a situationship like that, because that's what it is, it's a
Yeah.
situationship, even if he's calling you his
Yep.
wife,
Yep.
that is, you're either married or single.
That's it.
That's it. You're married or single. Okay, ladies? So if after 6 years he has not married you, exactly what you're saying,
Yeah.
it's because that conversation was never had at the
Yeah.
beginning. Or maybe you feel like you're trying to convince him, or
Mm.
you've had conversations, but something always comes up. So for you as a woman, you need to stop waiting for him, because
Yes.
men don't respond to you trying to convince them. Men respond to your presence and your absence.
Mm.
Ladies, write that down. I hope you heard me. Men don't respond to your conversations, they respond to your presence and your absence. Okay. So after you've had a conversation with him, if nothing has changed, then you need to stop abandoning yourself,
Yes.
because that's what that is. You're abandoning
Yes.
yourself. You're abandoning your standards. It's like an inner child wound, and you need to go no contact with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing: most women struggle with that
Mm.
part
Yes.
because you love
Yes.
him. He's amazing. You're
Yes.
in love with his potential. We know this because we coach you ladies
Yes.
all day, every day in the Feminine Energy Academy, right? And so, but the thing is, what we teach our ladies is like, okay, go no contact with
Yeah.
him. And then you need to go through a detox period. It is literally like going through a drug withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
So, hormonally, you're addicted to him. All right. And so there's no shame. It's just your nervous system and your hormones.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with your value or your worthiness as a woman. But you do need to like check yourself, and what I say, check yourself into a dating rehab, which is the Feminine Energy Academy.
Yes.
Give yourself at least 30 days, 90 days to go through that withdrawal, where you can take that energy and then instead of obsessing about the guy who is breadcrumbing you
Yes.
and not stepping up for marriage, take that time and put all that energy back on you and focus on your inner healing. That's what the Feminine Energy Academy is about. That's what I specialize in, is we help you re-regulate your nervous system and your hormones and your feminine energy so you can feel really good about yourself.
Yes.
We also teach you how to communicate with the masculine in a way that's actually effective for him. And this is what happens, because we see this every day. I was literally talking to women today. When you detach from the guys, they come running back.
Mm.
Always, 100% of the time, they come running back
Yes.
once you've actually detached.
Yes.
Now, this is why you need to actually heal, because if you're not healed, you're going to keep going back to him,
Yes.
right? But if you are healed and you do the stuff that we teach, then you are going to realize, oh, he's probably not the person for me,
Yes.
and open yourself up to date other men that actually are ready,
Mm.
not just love you. Okay, they're ready to be a
Yes.
husband. They want to be your husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's really about fully detaching, because a lot of
Yes.
times what
Yes.
we hear with the ladies that watch our videos, or
Yes.
ladies that first come into the Feminine Energy Academy,
Yeah.
now when they're in there a while, they learn and they grow.
Yeah.
But what happens is they come in and they say, okay, I've detached. Okay, how long should I wait?
Yeah.
I detached. He didn't ask me to marry him yet, or he didn't ask me to be with him.
Yeah.
One thing you have to understand: when you've been with a guy for 3, 5, 7 years, and you choose to detach,
Yeah.
you have to understand that because it's been that long, you have to go into it thinking that, understanding that he may never come back if you truly detach.
Yeah.
And understanding that he may not be the right one as well. So you're not doing this for him.
Yeah.
You're not looking to get his approval. You don't need to have a conversation with him saying, okay, we've been together for 5 years. I'm about to detach from you and go silent. You don't have to have
Yeah.
these conversations
Yeah.
with him. You just have to have your own standards. When you focus on self when it comes to relationships,
Mhm.
specifically when you're in the dating phase, you're
Yeah.
focusing on what you desire,
Yeah.
what type of guy you desire to be with, then that allows you to not get caught up in these situationships where it's like, okay, it was convenient. It's better than
Yeah.
nothing. I'm 45. At least I have someone who's calling me or coming over. You don't want to get
Yes.
caught in that, because 45 turns into 50. 50 turns
Yes.
into 60. And now
Yes.
you're looking, and a lot of the type of guys that you were once able to attract aren't looking
Mhm.
for you.
Yeah.
And you want to put yourself in position right now, even though
Mhm.
it may hurt. Because if you've been with someone
Yeah.
for multiple years, and I had a failed engagement myself
Yeah.
where we were together for multiple years, it's
Five
not,
years.
yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
And so much was learned on my end from that.
Yeah.
But when you're in these long-term relationships,
Yeah.
you have to understand that if he's not asking to move forward, and not only
Yeah.
asking, because men will ask you to marry them, then 12 years later, after 2 kids, you're still engaged. And if
Yeah.
and if any of you ladies have gone through anything similar, comment, say something. But
Mm-hmm.
we're here to help you avoid that,
Yeah.
because this isn't the life for you. This isn't what you
Yeah.
desire. A lot of times we just don't have the information. We don't have the tools. So we find
Yes.
ourselves in these
Yes.
situations. But so many of the ladies that come through the Feminine Energy Academy have come in with a story being in a situationship
Yeah.
3 months late, and single mothers
Yes.
3 months later, they're talking to a healthy masculine energy guy. Three
Yes.
months after that, they're engaged.
Yes,
3 months after
ladies.
that, they're married. Now, this isn't every
Yes.
situation, but we've had women get married within a short time frame
Mm-hmm.
of coming in and making
Yeah.
small adjustments.
Yes.
And we go so deep into what those adjustments are within the Feminine Energy Academy, but it doesn't have to be your story to be in
Yes.
these situationships. You don't have to accept these.
Yes, we see this all the time. I was literally in my private inbox this morning. One of the ladies messaged me. They're going ring shopping,
Mm,
and she did everything we told her to do. Another lady, I was helping her with her dating profile because
yes.
she was ready to go. She detached. She'd been doing about 3 months of inner healing, completely detached from the situationship she was in. And, we were working on her dating profile. Next thing you know, her original guy came back and they're making it official. So it's like we see this all the time, and we don't know what your story is going to be, but you have to choose you. Like
Yes.
you are watching this for a reason. I
Mm,
promise you that. And you don't have to shame yourself if you've been in a relationship for 5, 7 years. God is a God that who redeems time,
yes.
but you have to make that decision. You can't play in both
Yes.
frequencies. This is what we always tell our ladies. You can't play in the frequency of situationship and marriage.
Mm,
They're two different channels. Like on the radio station, you're
yes.
either watching HGTV or you're watching the Food Network.
Right.
You can't watch both
Right.
at the same. Those are our favorite channels. So that's why I'm using
Yeah.
that as an example. But you can't be on both channels
Yes.
at the same time.
So true.
So until you detach from the situationship, and situationship once again means you are not dating for a marriage. There's no ring on your finger. Okay. And it's dragged out. That's a situationship. So
Mm,
you're either going to stay stuck in that, or you free yourself from that, you heal, and you prepare your nervous system and your energy for your actual husband.
yes.
But that situationship will block your husband from even being able to see you.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we have so many good questions. We'll go over a couple of them.
Okay.
So we live together. Should I still wait for him to propose? It's been 7 years. And that's what I know. I'll
Yeah.
answer this one. That's what we went over a little earlier as well.
Yeah.
And one thing you have to understand, when you've been with someone that long,
Mhm.
now, and even living together, now
Yeah.
it's just convenience. He's
Yeah.
saving a little money, living together.
Yeah.
He has, like what a lot of people say, he has what he needs in house now. So
Yeah.
it's convenient for him. But if you're waiting for him to propose after 7 years, you live together. I'm not sure if you have children. You'll
Yeah.
continue to wait. It'll be another 7 years, unfortunately. And it's okay for him. He's in no rush, and that may not be what he wants. But the thing I always think back on is, what type of conversations have you had with each other?
Yeah.
Do you even know if he ever wanted to get married? Like, or did you just, is this someone who you started liking and then it
Yeah.
just automatically just grew to the point where we might as well live together?
Yeah.
So these conversations are so important.
Yeah.
But after 7 years, the likelihood of him marrying you because he really wants to be with you,
Yeah.
the likelihood is low. A lot of times people may get married, but it's more of convenience. Like, we've been together, let's just get married.
Yeah.
That's not the type of marriage you want. You want a marriage of someone who's pursuing you, wants to be
Yes.
with you. Men make decisions quickly, specifically healthy
Yeah.
masculine energy men. They make
Yeah.
decisions quickly. 7 years is a long time.
Mhm.
My thing, if he hasn't proposed to you, is really something that you want to look into, where you're looking, what's my exit plan for this, because it's not going anywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Take some time and really get clarity on what you want, babe.
Hmm.
Exactly what you're saying. Because sometimes women feel like that too. Men and women feel like that, where it's like, oh man, we've been together for so long. I guess I need to marry this
Yeah.
person. Otherwise, it's been a waste for the
Yeah.
last 7 years. But that is not a reason to get married.
No.
Okay. A lot of times people will get married to the wrong person or engage to the wrong person for that reason.
Yeah.
So before you do anything, take time to actually get clarity
Yes.
on what you want. and then decide. But
Mm.
you have to take your power back as the woman. The masculine always responds to the feminine.
Mm.
Okay, if he is meant for you, he will come a running and chasing for you and do what he needs to do
Yes.
to make it happen. I had to detach from him, right? And so this, it doesn't mean he's a bad guy,
Hmm.
right? It doesn't mean that you guys aren't a great match. It's just men respond to us. So if they have no reason to step up for marriage because they know that you're not going anywhere, he's not going to do it, babe. Yeah.
And this is a good question for you right here,
Yeah.
babe. It says my question is detaching versus pulling back.
Mm.
If there's a difference, is there a difference? What happens when you pulled back but he has options? Should we focus on standing out? I know it's a dumb question. Well, it's not a dumb question, first
Yeah.
off, but go ahead, babe.
Yeah, it's not a dumb question at all. This is why you as a woman should always have options. That is your priority. As a woman, until there's a ring on your finger,
Mhm.
you make sure you always have options. Because I promise you, if you have options, you're not going to worry about if he pulls back. That's my answer. And so, because otherwise, what's going to happen is if he pulls back or he is just all of a sudden like breadcrumbing you,
Yeah.
not showing up consistently, you are going to feel like you're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to feel insecure. And then you're going to go into performance mode.
Mm.
Like, what do I need to do to show him I'm the best option? And if you're in performance mode as a woman, you are in your sperm energy. That's masculine energy, right? The sperm has to compete. A woman should never be in her competing energy, ever. So, what I would encourage you to do is take time to sow into yourself, pour into you, and have a big glow up. Okay, so instead of worrying about what he's doing, if he's pulling back, you take time, work on you, work on your body, work on your hair, your skin, work on your nervous
Mm.
system. Most importantly, work on your feminine energy. Side note, I just did a 3-hour masterclass on Saturday on the 10 ways for a woman to be in her soft, sensual, feminine energy in dating and in marriage. And
Mm.
it was so fire. You can catch it, you can watch it for free. You can jump into the Feminine Energy Academy now. I have it pinned there. You can go and watch that. Okay. But anyway, that's the stuff you want to work on as a woman. And what will happen, and this is not just for me, this is for all the women that we coach in the Feminine Energy Academy, they start to feel better about themselves. They start seeing multiple men chasing after
Mm.
them, and then they're not so stressed
Yes.
while they're dating. They don't care if the one guy falls off or pulls back because they have another one or two or a couple guys that are, pursuing them. That's how you date as a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So good. And we had another
Yeah.
question as well. Said, how long should an engagement be?
Oh.
And I like that
Yeah.
question because when you're talking about an engagement, first off, even before that,
Yeah.
what we do in the Feminine Energy Academy,
Yes.
having your love
Yeah.
list, having your non negotiables, having things already written down,
Yeah.
understood. An engagement should be as long as you desire for be. So you should have a
Exactly.
window. You should have a window like, okay, we can get engaged, but we're getting married within,
Yes.
3 to 6
Yes.
months,
Yeah.
whatever the case is. So
Yeah.
not that he has to be the one to marry you. You don't want to put it on him.
Yes.
You don't want to say we have to be married in 3 to 6 months. No. Whenever engagement I'm in, and you can write
Yes.
this down, whenever I get engaged, I'm only going to be engaged for 6 months.
Yes.
And you can have conversations with him like, okay, not you, but I'm going to be
Yeah.
engaged and married within 12 months.
Yes.
And if he doesn't agree with it, or if he's not moving in that way,
Yeah.
then he's not for you at that time. So
Yes.
you have to set the boundaries on how long an engagement should be. And you can't give him that power because men will push it back. Okay,
Yes.
okay, I want to do a destination marriage, but it's not available to 2028.
Men do stuff like that.
Yes.
Men do
Yeah,
stuff
the
like that.
space isn't available to 2032. So so next thing you know, you just holding out for 2032. So you don't want
You love
to.
him so
Yes.
much.
So you
Oh my
decide how
gosh.
long the engagement should be. If he's not on board with it,
Mhm.
then you move on from him.
Yes. Yes. That is so good. And Ram said, "Hi, loves. You all are such gems of humans. Ladies, listen to everything they say. My life is thriving. Love you." And she is killing it in business and relationships. She's in our FEA.
What up,
So
Ramsha?
no, but that's exactly. And you know what? That's a really good question because ladies, you want to have a discussion about engagement and marriage, because
Mhm.
sometimes exactly what Coach V was saying, they was like, okay, yeah, here's a ring, but we're not getting married for
No.
another 10 years. Right?
Yeah.
So when we had this discussion before we were seriously dating for marriage, he had moved countries and he's like, I don't want you dating anyone else.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, what's your timeline? And he said, 6 months engagement and then marriage, within a couple months after that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with us, right? And for me, that worked because I had 4 kids and we were working with counselors. We had to really integrate the kids into the whole situation. So it's going to be different depending on your
Yeah.
situation. For example, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, if your kids have gone through like a trauma, like what my kids had gone through, we were really careful about how we did it. But you need to have that conversation around, okay, what does engagement look like and what
Yes.
does marriage look like? Okay, so you are not wasting your time, ladies. All right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's from the beginning. Each step,
Yes.
because each transition step
Yeah.
is different to a man's nervous system. So going
Yeah.
from, okay, now we're talking, then we're dating
Yeah.
exclusively,
Yeah.
then we're engaged. All
Yeah.
of that is something that a man, even myself during our process,
Yeah.
when we were talking initially, the reason why you detached and went silent from me is because I was having challenges trying to process the next step. And okay, she lives in
Yes.
another country. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And
Yeah.
instead of having those conversations,
Yeah.
I kept it within myself.
Yeah.
And that allowed her to see that, oh, he's not ready right now.
Yeah.
He's got some stuff going on. She told me nicely, okay, I see you got a lot going on right now. So I want to let you live your life and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And she detached. So for me, again, I talk about this a lot, but when she had that conversation with me, I
Yeah.
knew she was serious because emotionally, she was so stable emotionally. I couldn't tap into those emotions and just say, well, just give me a little minute. I'm working on some
Yeah.
stuff. She wasn't trying to hear it.
Yeah.
So when she had that conversation and said
Yeah.
that to me, I stepped back and had to look, do I
Yeah.
want to be with her? Now I have to go about things differently. So I
Yeah.
did some inner work. I changed some things within my life.
Yeah.
And when I came back to her 6, 8 months later,
Yeah.
thankfully, she was still willing to talk to me. And also,
Yeah.
she was single at the time.
Yeah.
But when I came back to her, I came with a plan.
Yeah.
And if a man
Yeah.
isn't coming to you with a plan
Mhm.
about now, about the future,
Mhm.
if he isn't coming telling you where he's
Yeah.
taking you, where he sees this going,
Yeah.
and then he follows through with it. Because I had a plan,
Yes.
but I followed through and I got on a flight and moved countries.
Mhm.
So if he's not, if it's like, okay, I'll move, but right now I'm selling a house. So, I can't come see you for another 6 months until this house gets sold.
Yeah.
Men will say
Anything.
anything.
Mhm.
Men will say anything, but also men will get up if they want to go out of town with their guys, go watch a game in another city. They'll catch a flight and go see that game without a hesitation.
Yeah.
So trust me, men will do whatever they have to do to get what they desire and they want. And if they're not doing that for you, then you're not what they want at that time.
Exactly. And you always say this, honey. A healthy man that is ready, will not leave you feeling confused.
Yes.
So
Yes.
just ask yourself, the man that you're dating or the guy that you're seeing right now,
Mm.
is he leaving you feeling confused? Because that is your
That's
sign
so
right
true.
there.
That's
Right.
so
And
true.
and this is not just in our situation. These are the women that we coach. The men fly around. We had one of our ladies just this week. Just this weekend's coming up. Guys flying in to see her for
Yeah.
2 hours. We have stories like this all the
Yeah.
time in our Feminine Energy Academy. And it's because they are responding to the woman's energy. The
Mm.
women have done their healing.
Mm.
They're aligned to getting married. They're out of the frequency of situationship. They're in the frequency of being a bride, of being married. And so they're channeling the men now,
Yes.
and there's an abundance of them across the globe, ladies, that are ready for marriage. There are men right now that are ready to get
Yes.
married. Your husband is walking around the planet right now.
Mm.
He is. He's walking around the planet right now. Now it's just up to you to be in alignment and be ready to receive him. Yeah.
And this is probably something that you can answer, babe,
Yeah.
right here. But we have someone. Should I give a guy a second chance after 2 months of detaching?
Mm,
He broke up with me after 2 dates,
okay.
canceled our third date about 2 or 3 times. Now I'll let you respond to it, but
Mm,
um, If it was 2 or 3 days, he didn't break up with you. He just stopped talking to you.
Yeah.
You weren't dating.
Yeah.
It wasn't official at that point. Something could have been going on in his life, but
Yeah.
you were still in the process of getting to know him.
Yeah.
And if you were official after 2 dates, I'm not sure how much you talked on the phone or whatever the
Yeah.
case is, because we didn't go out on many dates, but
Yeah.
we talked for a lot before.
FaceTime.
Yeah, a lot of FaceTime,
Yeah.
just a lot of conversations. But most likely you weren't dating at
Yeah.
that time. But before you move forward and give him another chance, first you have to address exactly what happened. Specifically, if he canceled on you
Yeah.
and that was never dealt with. So really getting an understanding of
Yeah.
what happened first,
Yes.
then of where he's at now. And you still don't have to go on a date with him. You don't have to give him a second chance, but you want to know that before you just move forward because he apologized and now he's back. You want to add something to it,
Yeah,
Meg?
yeah, no, I 100% agree with you, honey. Like I do believe in giving people a chance, right? I just don't believe in keep going back to the same situation over and over and over
Mm,
again. So if he legitimately like maybe his grandma died, his dad died, like
yeah,
something happened during that time and he just was not mentally there and he's telling you
yeah,
this and he's communicating that with you, okay, and then he's really showing interest and he meets your love list, meaning
mm,
he is a type of man that you could see yourself dating for marriage, not a type of man that you're just physically attracted to. If it's just based on pure physical attraction, it's a waste of your time.
yeah,
Okay. But if that's the case, then okay, I guess you could give him one last chance. But then if he keeps doing that, then you need to just stop
yes.
completely. Yeah.
And we said we have someone who says, "What happens if the guy does not share himself?" And what I'm guessing with this is he doesn't open up. He doesn't
Mm,
share much about himself.
yeah.
And I don't know where you're at in getting to know him. Now, if you've been talking a while and you still don't know much about him, you don't know if he has kids, you
That's
don't know what type of
shady.
job he has. He might be Tommy,
Yeah.
from Martin or whatever. Like you don't know much about him, and you've been
Yeah.
talking a while. You want to take a step back. You don't want to drag that out. But if you just started talking to him and he just doesn't overshare with you right away, you have to allow the conversations to just work itself out. But most men
Yeah.
are going to want to talk about themselves. They're going to want to share things that they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
specifically if they're doing some things in life, if they're making moves, they're
Yeah.
making stuff happen. They want to share this because they
Yeah.
want to let you know that they can provide for you. They can
Yes.
protect you. They can be there to be the guy that you desire. So they're usually going to share and let you know that. If
Yeah.
he's just super closed off, if you've talked to him but you haven't seen him on FaceTime, you want to make sure that this is a real person and this is even someone worth talking to, and you don't want to force it out of him. If he's not telling or sharing, or if things seem a little shady, it's okay to take a step back and just move on.
Yeah.
It's
Simple.
early in the process. Just move on and just leave it there. But don't feel like, oh, he looks good, or he says he has this, so I want to know everything about him. No, move on and keep rotationally dating.
Okay, so good. So, in my experience coaching so many women, if you tend to attract men that are in their hiding or
Yes.
avoidant energy, meaning they don't really open up, they don't really get close, it's typically because it's mirroring your energy. So, a lot of times, I want you to ask yourself, are you also like that? Are you kind of in that hiding, avoidant energy where you don't like to open
Yes.
up? Maybe you have walls up, you
Yeah.
don't like to get too close to
Yes.
people because typically it's just mirroring your
So
energy.
true.
Just like when women tend to attract men that break their boundaries,
Mm.
it's and they don't follow through on what they say that they're going to do, it's typically because you don't follow through on your own boundaries within yourself. There's micro promises
Mm.
that you tell yourself that you break, and because you're in that frequency and that energy, you attract men that also do that back to you,
Mm.
right? So your starting point with no matter what type of guys you attract is to go back inward and do that inner healing that we're talking about so that you can attract the types of guys that you actually want, the men that are open, that
Yeah.
help you feel
Yeah.
secure because you're secure in yourself, men that hold boundaries, hold and respect your boundaries because you hold and respect your boundaries,
Yeah.
things like that.
And that's so simple. You put it in such a simple way
Yeah.
because you're usually not going to attract the type of guy that's totally opposite of who you are as far as energy wise. So
Yes, so
if you're
true.
someone that's super open, just loves being around people, you're most likely not going to attract someone who doesn't leave the house. That's
That's
right.
so true.
You
Yeah.
won't attract that type of person because for one, they won't be out to attract you. So you attract the
Yeah.
type of people, and that's really a good way to measure where you are. You want to
Yeah.
know where you are. It's how people respond to you, how people are in your presence. Do
Mhm.
people want to come up and talk to you? Even
Yeah.
today, just being out, we took our kids to some type of extracurricular
Yeah.
activity, and people just come over. Even the leaders within it start having conversations. It's because I'm showing myself friendly, so people
Yeah.
just want to talk. And
Yeah.
that's how it is even when you're dating, when
Yes.
you're having fun. And this is one thing I want to add too. We tell
Yeah.
our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, so I'm giving you an extra piece of advice I probably shouldn't, but you have to smile, you have to show yourself friendly, you have
Yeah.
to have fun while you're out, even if you think no one's looking,
Mhm.
because men are always watching. So if you're
Mhm.
having a resting bee face, or if you're thinking about,
Yeah.
okay, what am I gonna cook for dinner? Then what am I gonna wear tomorrow? Then did I get that oil change? Do I need gas?
Yeah.
We can see you thinking. We
Yeah.
don't know exactly what you're thinking about, but we can see you thinking as men, and it's not attractive for most men. Men don't want to come in your space because at that moment you're so locked in.
Mhm.
You're locked in with whatever it is that you want to do or have going on. And we feel like we'll be invading your space during that time. So you want to stay open, free,
Yeah.
have fun
Yeah.
while you're out so you can attract the right type of people.
Yeah, and so we talk a lot about being that polar opposite. So if you want to have that attraction and you want to attract that masculine energy type men, we're
Yeah.
not just talking about attracting men. We want to help you attract that provider masculine energy man that is ready to step up for marriage, that really wants to be in that provider, protector, husband, father role, right? That leader role. He wants a woman in her soft
Yes.
feminine. He a masculine energy man does not want to date another man,
No.
right? Or a woman, even if you look good in your masculine energy. So once again, I just did a masterclass on this in the Feminine Energy Academy. You can watch it for free, where I go through 10 ways to really be in that soft, sensual, feminine energy. And this is an important skill for you ladies for dating, the dating phase and the marriage phase.
Mm.
Really, really important. And also, I just want to mention for the ladies that do want to start dating and attract provider energy men, you want to start dating internationally like what we did and how we teach our women in the Feminine Energy Academy. We have a whole bunch of training in there on how to set up your dating profiles, how to talk to men, how to communicate with them. We will also help you with your dating profile, and we're really good at it. Like,
Mm.
our ladies get really good
Yes.
results when they get our feedback. We met online as well, so we'll go through your photos and your description. We'll teach you what to do. Plus, you have us to help you. So if you just want our feedbacks, you can private message me in the Feminine Energy Academy, and I will help you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And again, the Feminine Energy Academy is a private group just for
yeah,
the ladies.
yeah,
So the ladies get in there and just open up and share. We
yeah,
do a lot of awareness talk here on YouTube,
yeah.
but when we get into the Feminine Energy Academy, we're able to go so much deeper.
Yes,
It's a safe place for the ladies. The
yes,
ladies just, it's almost like one big family. The ladies just feel
yeah,
so open and are able
yes,
to share. And when you're able to open up and relax,
yeah,
that's when you're able to get the answers. That's when you're able to
yes,
really pinpoint exactly what's going on, and we're able to go deep
yeah,
and give you those answers. So make sure you do it. Even more with the dating profiles, if you all are have been on dating sites,
yeah.
and we talk about this in the FEA, it doesn't matter which site you're on. It's about what you're presenting and us
Mhm.
walking through those sites. And we give you sites that
Yeah,
people have more success on,
yeah,
but what it comes down to is how are you presenting yourself
yes,
online? How are your pictures looking? What are you saying? Because it's a lot of
mhm,
key buzzwords
yeah,
that we see with the ladies that
yeah,
they're putting in there that we're telling them, okay, don't say this. Okay, take
yes,
this out, move this picture over here.
yes,
This is so key because you have to understand how the man thinks and how the man scrolls. And
yeah,
once you understand that,
yeah.
then it all starts to make sense. But we give you that feedback in the FEA. So definitely jump in. It's right now we have a free 7-day trial as well.
Yes, exactly. So good. All
Yes.
right. So do we want to recap what we were talking
Yeah,
about?
you got it, babe. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So just to recap really quick, ladies, and especially if you just are jumping
Mm.
in now. So what we were talking about this whole episode was on how to actually detach, go no contact, so that you can make yourself available for the right man that wants to step up and marry you, that provider energy man. Even if you're a single mom, like how I was, even if you're divorced, like your sister was,
Yes.
who's also going to be doing a masterclass with us in her 50s. She got remarried as a single mom, doctor, PhD. Okay. So that's possible as well. It doesn't matter what your situation is. This is so, so important for you, ladies. So, the three things we talked about, number one, ladies, is you need to take your emotion out of dating. Okay, you need to use your logic
Mm.
when it comes to dating, not your emotion, not chemistry,
Mm.
not butterflies, not, oh, he's so cute. No,
Right.
oh, I love him. I've never met anyone like him. None of that. Okay, no more trauma bonding. Okay,
Yes.
no emotion when it comes to dating. Emotions, this is really good. Emotions are great indicators, but they're terrible masters.
Mm.
Terrible
Yes.
masters. Okay. So don't let your emotions master you. You need to master your emotions. Number two, we talked about you need to prepare your nervous system
Mm.
for marriage. You need to prepare your nervous system to feel safe in the presence of healthy masculine energy, not bad boys, not boys that breadcrumb you, not men that drag their feet and just want to have a situationship with you. No, you need to prepare your nervous system, which is your subconscious,
Mm.
for healthy masculine energy so you don't self sabotage
Mm.
or push it away or find it
Yes.
boring or you're anxious and stressed. And then number three, ladies, so important is to help you detach is you need to stay rotationally dating until there is a ring on
Yes.
your finger. Okay, ladies, because otherwise you're just going to be hooked on the first guy that just says he wants to marry you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, if you have any questions
Yes.
or we didn't get a chance to answer any of your
Yes.
questions on this live, jump into the Feminine Energy
Yes.
Academy. We're in there
Yeah.
20, well, 18/7, about 18 hours a day, not
No.
24/7, but we're in there all the time. We
Mhm.
respond to each of the messages that we get,
Yeah.
and we can help lead and direct you to get out of that situationship
Yeah.
and to help you to to be found
Yeah.
by your provider, energy husband, if that's what you desire.
Yeah. So if you have specific questions that you want to share, you can private message me in the Feminine Energy Academy. You can let me know what your situation is, and I can give you actual specific training programs. We have
Yes.
multiple training programs available to you in the Feminine Energy Academy. I have 5 hormone weight loss programs to help you get in snatch and feeling all yummy and delicious for dating and marriage. Okay. We have a whole bunch of nervous system
Mm.
healing programs. I'm an entire dating for marriage program and teach you how to rotationally date for marriage, teach you how to online date, teach you how to communicate with the masculine in dating and in marriage. We also help you heal your relationship with money because
Mm.
that will mirror the same relationship with how you are with the masculine. Okay, it's all about you receive. It's all about how you receive as a woman. So we have all that available for you. You can try it out for free. So when you jump in there, just message me, let me know why you're there, and we will get you started. Okay,
Ah,
see you, ladies.
yeah, we'll see you soon.